A very good afternoon to you all and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to lunchtime news here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 25th day of July 2023. We are coming to you from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has said that Africa's small, disintegrated economies can do so little in terms of trade and investment. The president was meeting with a delegation from South Africa's African National Congress at State House Entebbe, led by the political party's Treasurer General, Dr. Gwen Ramokgoba. Museveni said partner states need to integrate as a matter of survival to create bigger markets. President Museveni said that it is still disorganized economically and Africa should be very careful if they don't watch out. The president told the guests that Uganda has since diversified its economy from the three C's, that is coffee, cotton and copper, and the three T's, that is tobacco, tourism and tea, which the country depended on during the colonial times. Adding value to the agricultural raw materials and minerals is another strategy. He said Africa must adopt if prosperity is to happen, mentioning coffee, which should uplift Africa to modernity, but the cash crop is poorly managed. He further added that for those battles to go on, Africa must deal with the issue of the market. President Museveni, who said that he recruited himself into the ANC party in 1967, had to fight together with others because, and I quote, although we already had independence in 1971, the leaders who were coming in and going out were off the point. They were only emphasizing politics of identity, religion and gender chauvinism, end of quote. ANC's Treasurer General Dr. Gwen Ramokgoba, who led a three-people delegation, extended greetings from President Cyril Ramaphosa and the people of South Africa. She praised President Museveni for providing refuge to the anti-apartheid freedom fighters at Kaweweta, where they trained, planned and launched attacks against the white racist regime in South Africa from 1989 to 1993. Dr. Ramokgoba informed President Museveni about their visit to Oliver Tambo Leadership School in Kaweweta, Nakaseke district, describing their visit as inspirational and key in strengthening the historical ties between the ANC and the NRM. Dr. Ramokgoba further promised to follow up on the pledge which was made by the former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, during the commissioning of the OR Tambo School of Leadership, Kaweweta, on the 26th of March 2010 to improve health services delivery at the institute. During their three-day official working visit in Uganda, the level meetings with the NRM Party Secretary General Right Honorable Richard Todwong and the top management at the party headquarters. A liberation movement known for its opposition to apartheid, the ANC has governed the country since 1994, when the first post-apartheid election installed Nelson Mandela as president of South Africa. Now, Cabinet has approved a proposal to extend the leadership of local councils for a period of 180 days following the expiry of their term of office. The decision grants powers to the Minister for Local Government, enabling them to extend or reinstate the term of office for administrative unit councils. Now, this measure comes in response to the need for continued governance and stability in local communities, while the necessary preparations and modalities for conducting elections are worked upon. Local councils 1 and 2 should remain in office as modalities are being worked upon to conduct elections. Take a watch.
In other words, the regulations developed to operationalize the Local Government Act give powers to the Minister of Local Government to seek you before Parliament for approval, and then he can make a pronouncement. So what was done yesterday is that a proposal was made to Cabinet to extend the life of the local councils for a period of 180 days, and the cabinet approved that proposal. But then what follows next is that we shall have to seek approval of the same from Parliament, and once the statutory instrument has been laid in the Parliament and is approved, then the Minister of Local Government will issue a notice to the public, a notice of the extension of the term of the local councils.
Now, in efforts to avoid this process because they are dangerous, but encouraged to emphasize seeking medical treatment in hospitals. This was in the free medical camp organized by the Nakaseke District Woman Member of Parliament, Sarah Najuma, and the Direct Aid Uganda at Nakaseta Kasangombe Sub-County.
Over 800 Nakaseke District Aid Uganda beneficiaries from Nakaseta in Kasangombe Sub-County were treated of various diseases including diabetes, malaria and ulcers, among others. The woman member of Parliament, Nakaseke District, Sarah Najuma, cautioned patients against self-medication.
We also do these medical camps because it's nearer to the people and also to avoid people from doing self-medication. Because some people do self-medication when they don't know what they are really suffering from.
A doctor at Nakaseke Hospital, Rehma Nandugwa, advised residents to maintain proper hygiene in their homes and to sleep under mosquito nets.
They should endeavor to buy, meanwhile as they wait for the government to give mosquito nets, which is going to start very soon.
An official from Direct Aid Uganda, Wechiguyu livelihoods.
We should give relief, which we are doing right now at Nakaseke, Nakaseta. We build mosque, we support the needy community with the educating their children. We dig borehole or we drill boreholes for the needy community, and also giving food items.
To Luweero now, where Luweero Deputy Resident District Commissioner Mariam Nal to students across the country to be disciplined in whatever they do for a successful future. She was officiating a pass-out parade by Luweero Secondary School students and teachers at the school playground in Luweero District. The 5-day training was conducted by National Patriotism Corps of Uganda instructors from the Office of the President.
The training was both physical and theoretical, conducted by National Patriotism Corps Uganda, which many programs will fail. She lauded the National Patriotism Corps Uganda for coming up with the patriotism training programs that will inculcate nationalism in Ugandan students.
Meaning, the younger trees are the ones that make the forest to be strong. The forest is already there. The government is already there. Uganda is already there. But what will make Uganda strong is the younger generation. So we need to prepare them as a country to love their nation, to have...
Avoid drugs and premarital sex.
Leave alcohol to older people like me. But even me, the doctors told me don't take more. I've been taking a little, but now they say don't take.
Emerging offenses among students like gambling, strikes and stealing.
Don't engage yourself into strikes. The portion was not enough. Did you come here to overeat? You are supposed to take 150 grams to drink. Your body needs very little food.
The National Patriotism Corps coordinator for Luweero District, Godson Senteza, said 772 students and 28 teachers were passed out.
So this thing is non-partisan. It is for the good of all our Ugandans. All together. So let us continue supporting patriotism.
Crispus Arenaitwe, UBC News.
Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni last week renewed the contract of the Executive Director of Kampala Capital City Authority for 3 years and also instructed the Head of Public Service to elevate Dorothy Kisaka to the level of a permanent secretary. However, the renewal of Kisaka's contract comes in the wake of better services in the city, and the chairperson of the National Fiscal Planning Board, Amanda Ngabirano, says some of the challenges affecting service delivery in the city should not be pegged on Ms. Kisaka. Take a watch.
Kampala is Uganda's capital and largest city and the administrative and commercial center of the country. The sheer magnitude of the problems confronting administrators in Kampala Capital City Authority can be overwhelming despite attempts to have them addressed. The city's population is estimated to be 4 million, although the population more than doubles during the day as Ugandans flock to the city for work and other businesses. Traffic jams exacerbated by thousands of taxis and border motorcycle that ply the streets. Numerous slums and piles of uncollected garbage. Nearly half of its residents live in unplanned, informal settlements with less access to basic services such as water, sanitation or KCCA generates 345,000 to 400,000 tons of garbage annually. On average, municipal councils in 35% of the garbage generated annually. The KCCA's performance in solid waste management falls below the national average, with annual garbage collection somewhere between 33% and 25%. Inadequate financing is the central challenge facing Kampala Capital City Authority. KCCA needs additional financing, both domestic and foreign, to manage adequately the solid waste generated annually in the city. A report by the Auditor General notes that the city's failings in garbage collection go beyond simply insufficient resources. Despite the solid waste management problem, Kampala Capital City Authority over the years has been held into partisan political struggles that have offered a shape to the kind of quality service delivery in Kampala amidst political wars in a city hall dominated by opposition politicians versus the technical wing appointed by the president of the ruling NRM government. The tide in the recent years undermined service delivery in the capital city. However, has Dorothy Kisaka, whose contract has been renewed for 3 years, done anything?
Relationship with the political wing, that we've seen less of fights, because the public gets confused when they hear something different from the political side and the technical side. They get a little bit confused, and it makes it difficult for one to assert their authority. The other good thing that I've seen is the relationship with the, for example, the taxi drivers, the leadership. I think you have not had any strike for the last 2.5 years from the taxi guys.
The quality of roads in the city is terrible. This has prompted some stage protests on roads, with the most potholes including fishing into some of the city's largest potholes after rain. In May 2023, city residents attempted to organize a photo exhibition to display photos of various potholes around the city. However, Amanda Ngabirano says the increasing breakdown of the road infrastructure in the capital city shouldn't be blamed on the authority.
Complaining about the potholes, the drainage, but it can't have been done in 2 years. It is something that was building over a period of time. We cannot blame the potholes on the current management, but it is something that exposes the bigger.
Amanda says Kisaka's time in office has been short that shouldn't be compared to that of her predecessor.
To see so much in 2 years after so much of a mess in the last how many years. And it would be unfair to judge anyone within a period of 2 years to have delivered for such a city that is so congested, crowded. Everybody wants a livelihood here. The city has drainage issues, solid management. It is really, really under pressure.
Boda bodas have become an important novelty in mobility development that largely appears to benefit low-income users in Uganda and the Greater Kampala metropolitan area in particular. Accordingly, there has been unprecedented growth in the population of motorcycles within Kampala. Records by Kampala Capital City Authority reveal that in Kampala alone, there are 100,000 boda bodas. However, the management of boda boda has turned out to be a problem to KCCA. Ngabirano attributes the problem to gaps in the enforcement body.
You actually get an enforcement team that is genuine. It will happen. The area that I think they need to do better is to really assert themselves. Because fiscal planning is not a simple thing of just sweet-talking people. You must get the thing done. It is something that requires a bit of dictatorship of things. You're not going to see a city that is changing when you are...
Cultural diversity and other historical heritages are some of the tourist attraction sites in the sub-region. While touring some of the sites in partnership with Miyombo Safaris, Nakami Esther Leader, the Tourism Development Officer at the Ministry of Tourism, said the region has a lot of potential which has not been exposed. She pledged to forward the reports on ground to the Tourism Ministry so that the Ministry and other stakeholders can develop some of the sites.
We encourage the governments to at least put in Arua. There are other people who have never known Arua.
I've been hearing of Miradua. I thought it was just a useless place, but when I reached here today, I was just impressed.
It's Southern Sudan, Uganda, Congo. So in Kagwa, I said we are mostly in 3 countries. So in that name comes Salia Musala, not Stones.
Need a better road network up to this place so that even we can expose other people from other countries to come here.
Our activity is for us to understand and assess the potential of the tourism sites, so as we are able to package travel packages for both domestic and international tourists. But we've actually realized that the region is rich in both natural and cultural heritage. So I think we will take it to local governments within the particular districts and the region.
For West Nile, we have not tapped into this resource of tourism. And that is the reason why I have decided to jump on board and try to see that we really alert our population that they should be sensitized about the benefits of the tourism sector of this country. You know, our message here now should go to the lowest person on the ground. We are speaking to the common people. We are saying that our environment needs to be preserved. And we are saying that because of, actually, when you look at the shea nut tree, that one is another tree which is in danger. It is getting extinct, and yet it has diverse benefits for us. So, you know, well, when we preserve our environment, that means we are preserving our culture, we are preserving life, we are doing very many things at a go. We are preserving the water bodies, because now some of the water bodies are drying up because we are cutting the trees, we are removing all the vegetation, we are doing a lot of destruction. And when we do that destruction, the effect now has been felt by us.
Kayunga Muslim District Deputy Hadi Sheikh Abdul Rahman Serunjogi has urged Muslims to participate in constructing mosques in order to get favors from Allah. Serunjogi was speaking to Masjid Rahman Building Committee in Katumu Trading Center, Luwero District. The masjid is being built in memory of Sheikh Swaibu Semakula, the first Mufti of Uganda.
Sheikh Serunjogi was at the construction built in memory of Uganda's first Mufti, the late Sheikh Swaibu Semakula, where Muslims and well-wishers to attend the upcoming fundraising event for the same construction.
And it should be built as we see in these modern times. That's why we decided to build this masjid of 2 flats. 2 levels, inshallah ta'ala.
According to Sheikh Badi Katende Semakula, the estate administrator, the masjid is constructed in memory of their late father, Sheikh Swaib Semakula, Uganda's first mufti, who accomplished much for Islam during his tenure. He reveals that the work so far done has cost 200 million shillings, with 1 more billion still needed.
Abasomesebwa Sheikh Swaib Semakula n'abazzukulu mu yirimu ya Sheikh Swaib Semakula okubeera nti ennaku z'omwezi nga 10 omwezi ogw'omwenda bajje tuzimbe ennyumba ya Allah wano e Katuumu gye tuyimiriddeko wano.
Katumu Islamic Center Masjid Complex will have a primary school, a secondary school and an Islamic college. The center was started by the first Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Swaib Semakula, who is the first indigenous Ugandan sheikh to teach and graduate Ugandans at the level of sheikhs. He became Mufti in 1966 and died in 1973.
Short break and return with much more. Do stay with us.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN Wakanet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
The baddest East African Christian Marathon is here. Come participate at the East African Christian Marathon for a prayer run on the 13th of August 2023 at the Lugogo Hockey Grounds. Come represent your family at the prayer run and run for a good cause to build the first call center, which will be East Africa's virtual listener. Come for the prayer run alongside your pastors, leaders, representatives from Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and of course Uganda. Participate with Honorable Captain Mike Mukula, who is the chief runner and patron. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Make your donation for your kid now from 20,000, 30,000 and 100,000 Uganda shillings, because runs change the world. For more details, call 0781 885 055 or visit our website at www.eastafricachristianmarathon.org. Proudly sponsored by PKF, UBC, Venro Health, Aquafina, and Moving Preacher.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda. All networks. Dial *100*1# and select Call All Networks.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Juko. Yo. What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model? Formed a SACCO, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. Okay. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
This is the University of Africa. On the streets, you get your real education. Here, everybody has a degree of something. But the most important qualification is imagination. His reason is to be the GOAT. The reason to imagine is to take the beat and make it lit. So no matter what your situation, just use your imagination.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijana Ngoma. Moving further afield, we go to neighboring Kenya, where conservationists in Kenya are petitioning the state to enact solutions to avoid the worst impacts from climate change, including record droughts and flooding. Activists say directives such as Kenya's lifting of a ban on logging is reversing gains made to lessen extreme weather linked to climate change. Kenyan activists seek climate change protections, and that is amid record droughts and flooding.
From my other children. I live with my husband here and only one child.
Families like Lokotosis are bearing the brunt of climate change. It has affected millions around the world and is being felt every day in Kenya, where disasters like flooding and droughts have become more common over the past 20 years. Activists are demanding the Kenyan government commit to real solutions to prevent and minimize such catastrophes.
We are trying to provide solutions and push for policy to act on our phrase.
President William Ruto lifted a 6-year ban on logging in July to create more jobs in timber harvesting, to conservation use to global warming. But timber traders like Michael Oginga praised the move.
Let them lift the ban so we can at least go back to our normal business. Business is low. I can get 1 customer a week. I could get about 10 customers a week before the ban. This is what we depend on for food.
And that story brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 25th day of July 2020. Wishing you a blessed afternoon and bon appetit.
UBC, inspiring you. UBC, inspiring Uganda.